And you're gonna wanna listen in on this because this will make a huge difference. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, the best place to build your tech career and have fun along the way. I'm Liz, and today I'm super excited because today I will share with you 5 things I wish I knew before going to college. I graduated in May 2020 as a double major in computer science and math, and now I am a graduate student studying computer science. I wanted to share my college advice and regrets so that if you are about to go to college, or maybe you are already in college but you want some tips so that you can get the most out of your college experience, then this video is for you. Now let's get into it. The first thing that I want to share with you is that once you go to college, you are in the driver's seat of your own life. So this means that you set your schedule, you make decisions, and you ultimately determine whether you make good choices or bad choices. Now, this is a great thing, and also it can be a not so great thing. So for example, you get to decide the courses that you want to take, you get to make your own schedule. So if you like to be someone who sleeps in, you can take later classes. Or if you like to wake up earlier, you can take classes in the morning. So being able to make your own schedule and prioritize what you want is a huge advantage. Now, on the con side of that, some things that aren't already built into your schedule, like they were for high school, may be harder for you to be in charge of. So for example, in high school, maybe you were involved on a sports team, and in college, unless you're on an athletic scholarship or you are doing sports for your school, once you get to college, it's up to you to join different clubs and different sports. If you want to join intramural sports, you will have to seek that out, or if you just want to stay healthy and fit, you're gonna have to make those decisions, whether it's what you cook or what food you buy. You are in charge of it. There's no one you can blame if you do great or if you don't do so great, but basically it's really exciting and empowering to be in the driver's seat of your own life because you get to decide your own future. And so my advice would be that when you are in charge of your schedule and your priorities, make sure you make time for the most important things. So if you have clear goals or if you have abstract goals, try to have those as your focus to guide your days, because there will be no one else in charge of your life to make sure that your goals get accomplished. Now, my next piece of advice is to join clubs and get on the email list. So last year, a lot of clubs were meeting online through Zoom, and I'm hoping and I'm excited that some of these clubs and intramural activities will be back to being in person this semester, or if not, hopefully by the end of the year. And so it's really important to take the opportunity to join clubs and get on the email list. So a lot of times in the first week or two or the first month of school, you will get emails about a club fair or some sort of way to survey all the clubs that go and attend at your school. And so it'll either be virtual or in person, depending on where you are. And if for some reason you're a student and you're not getting an email saying something about joining clubs, then I would email your school telling them, hey, I'm interested in clubs, I need to get connected. Because I've been to a few different schools' websites and they'll have a page for clubs, but they won't have the contact information for how to join the club or who is the president of the club. So it's super valuable that you connect with your school and attend the club fairs and join clubs and get on the email list, if for no other reason that a lot of clubs have free food and free perks. I know that even last year when everything was online, if you would attend meetings, you could get a free $10 Grubhub coupon. And so there's these hidden advantages to showing up, and you never know who you might meet at these club meetings. You can meet your future best friend or possible career networking opportunities. You could get connected to internships or different things that you never knew existed. I know last year I was able to join a Women in Cybersecurity Club, so that's new to me and I'm excited about that for this year. And I also have a video on what clubs you can join right now in college, so I go in depth on the different clubs I've participated in and ones that I recommend. And so feel free to check that out if you are interested in and what clubs might appeal to you for your college experience. The next piece of advice I want to share with you is that you will feel overwhelmed, and that is okay. So in college, you will deal with a lot of highs and lows. You may feel like quitting, you may feel like giving up, you may feel like switching your major 1,000 times, which is completely normal. If you think you're the only one that is a mess or is struggling, you're not. Most of the people around you are also struggling. It's a big adjustment to go from high school to college and to deal with classes and stress and tests and all of the other things that go along with being a young adult, trying to find yourself and figure out what you want in life. And it's okay, even at the end of college, if you're still struggling, because that's just part of life. And I think one of the few good things that came out of last year is the focus on mental health and self-care and giving yourself a little bit of slack if you are struggling or if you don't perform your best or you don't feel your best. It's really important to try to stay positive and talk to someone if you are feeling overwhelmed. I know that I didn't have my best friends in college. I went out of state and I didn't really know anyone at my school when I started out. And so I went through struggles my freshman year and even sophomore year, but I was able to get through it. And you can always call those that you knew before college too, like if you have close siblings or parents or you have close friends from high school. That helped me out a lot because those people and I had similar values, and that's something that I didn't necessarily meet people with those same values right away when I started college. So I just wanted to include that if you are feeling overwhelmed, it's completely normal and you will have ups and downs, and the best thing to do is stay positive and keep reminding yourself of the great things that you have done and that things will get better and you can always make the day better tomorrow. Now, my next piece of advice is on roommates, and you're gonna wanna listen in on this because this will make a huge difference. My piece of advice is to choose your roommates wisely and do not feel like you have to be your roommate's best friend or that you have to do everything with your roommates. So in my experience back in 2016, I had random roommates the first year. So first year, I certainly had highs and lows with those roommates, but it taught me a lot about what kind of friends I wanted to make going forward in college. And freshman year, after I was able to establish myself in clubs and get to know people in my classes, I felt a lot more like I belonged on campus and like I wasn't struggling or trying too hard to make friends. And so when sophomore year came around, I was debating who I wanted to room with again, if I wanted to go with the same roommates or if I wanted to take a chance on one of my friends. And I ultimately decided to go random again because I knew that even though I loved some of my friends, it was just not going to work as roommates. And also too, like, some people are prone to fighting with their friends, and if you have a friend that you might fight with or disagree with, again, that might not be the best one to room with. And so I went random, and sophomore year I had an even better experience with my roommates and who I got put with just by chance. I was surrounded more by the study-focused people and engineers, and it was a really good experience. And then junior year, all of those people from sophomore year had figured out their room situation, which unfortunately they didn't have a spot for me. So I would have considered going with them, but I went random again. So junior year, a miracle happened and I got the best roommate in the entire world, and she's one of the few people that I still talk to regularly after graduating college. And so I was so happy with that because, again, like, I would rather take a chance than have some sort of thing blow up with an existing friendship. But then also to senior year, when I was trying to figure out where to live, unfortunately my plans with my roommate from junior year, they weren't going to work out together. So senior year, I was really excited to have my own room, and then I shared like a communal living space with a few other girls. And so I knew that senior year I didn't want to take the same chance, the same risk with having a random roommate. And so by senior year I had my own space, which I was super thankful for. But I know for a lot of people it's really expensive to just have your own room in college. And so it's good life skills to experience living with a roommate or living with a stranger. But if for some reason you have a really negative experience, it's good to communicate that with your resident assistant or someone at the school so that they can help you, because no one wants you to have your life, you know, turned upside down for somebody, or if you really don't get along with somebody. Usually things can be done, but again, like, it differs by school. So with that, just keep in mind, like, the roommate situation, it will play a part in some things because obviously you go to your dorm to sleep and get ready and to eat sometimes, but it's not going to make or break your college experience. And certainly don't feel like you need to be your roommate's best friend all the time. You can branch out, you can have your clubs, you can do other things and not be so consumed in your roommates' lives. So keep that in mind. And finally, my last piece of advice for you, which would have made all the difference, is to stop worrying about what other people think of you. So a lot of times in college, we kind of get into our heads about what we need to be doing, who we need to be hanging out with, what we need to look like, what we need to dress like, just these different things. And sadly, having this mindset can happen to anyone at any age. You can compare yourself to others at any age, and you can get into your head about what you should be doing versus what you want to be doing. So I'd say it's really important to follow who you are and your own values and stay true to yourself, rather than worry about what's accepted by those around you or what is the norm. Because the times change, the trends change so quickly, it's impossible to keep up with everything. So you will feel a lot better and more comfortable if you stay true to yourself. And if you're new here, hi, I'm so happy you found my channel. I do love to upload new videos on Tuesdays and Fridays at 11 a.m. Eastern. And recently I made a video on my regrets and advice as a double major, and I also have a similar video on my regrets as a computer science major, as well as my regrets as a math major. So I love to make new content for you guys to help you out in college, to help you out in computer science, and to just have fun. And if you want to keep up with me on other social medias, I do post pretty frequently on my Instagram, Liz_Victoria_YT, and my TikTok with the same username. So with that, I hope you have a wonderful, happy weekend ahead, and I will see you very soon.